so I just wanted to go over real quick how to get a student login for at home for ClassDojo. That way, if you wanted to use ClassDojo as a way to talk to your kids or post some fun activities that aren't required, they can see everything you post in Class Story. So if you were to post a message or a link or a video, they'd be able to see all that stuff on their student account. And then also, I know that we don't want to overwhelm parents, but if eventually you feel comfortable and you wanted to create an activity, you can do the same thing that you do with Seesaw in ClassDojo portfolios, and create an activity with some instructions and a way for them to upload or add an answer or something like that. So anyway, that's portfolios, and they can see portfolios and Class Story from and their points from their student account. The only thing they can't see is messages, so obviously the messages between you and the parent stay private and the students can't see that, so that's good. All right, so the way to get students their login is up at the top right corner. You probably noticed that it says student login. If you tap right there on student login, and I am doing this in Safari and not the app because I specifically want to show you what I think is the best way to go about getting this stuff. So you could also do it through a computer at home. I know a lot of you have computers at home that you're using. So if you went to, Google Chrome and went to ClassDojo website, this is the same thing that you would see. Or you could do it through Safari on your iPad like I'm doing. Okay, so next, obviously they're going to be at home, so we need to choose the at home login that has the individual student codes. So when you tap that, you can see that it generates a link for every single student. Now, one way you could go about this is to copy each link and send it to each parent so that then the parent has a link to their student's account. You could do that. Another thing that you could do, you could download the printout of all the codes. So see that blue thing that says download printout of all codes. So if you tap that and you wait for it to load, it'll show you, give you some instructions about student accounts, but it'll show you each student's individual login QR code. So another really great thing you could do is you could snap a picture of this and take a screenshot of that. And then you could go to each parent again in messages and send a photo of each student's individual login code. And even that way you're making it something that's optional. Like here is where we're going to post some really fun science experiments and some really fun videos and extra things that your kids can do if they finish their work early or if they need an extra challenge for the week. And honestly, my parents that have not been as responsive are much more responsive now because they know that ClassDojo, especially without us having the phone app to talk to parents, ClassDojo is like the main way that we are communicating as a school and then with the teacher. I know that a lot of parents that I've had trouble like getting them involved on ClassDojo are now involved. And if you tell them it's something extra, you might not have 100% participation, but those kids and those parents that need the extra stuff and are looking for extra stuff that's educational, now they would have access to that extra thing. So anyway, all that to say, this is a great way to share it. And then if you shared it with the parent this way, the student could actually go, and here's the instructions down here, go to the ClassDojo app or ClassDojo.com from a computer or an iPad, and then they could go to their camera app and scan the code. And then they could enter as a student, or they could go to ClassDojo.com and just tap student and it'll come up with a camera. And then they could scan the QR code and log into their own personal account. So that's just one way you can go about doing it. There are a couple other ways. So if you want to know more information about that, just let me know. But here's one simple way to you just either share a link or share a QR code, and then each student gets their own login and the parents can decide if they want to do that or not. So anyway, that's just something I wanted to share with you guys since we talked about it in our meeting. Let me know if you have any other questions. Thanks.